In this video, I started out with $0 in his truck and spent the last 4 years building the farm to where it is today, only to go broke. So now I have the challenge of starting over on a brand new farm with next to no money. Will I go broke or will I make it big? Stay tuned to find out. And if you guys want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and drop in a like helps too. Anyway, let's go do some farming. Well, boys, it's another day back out here on the farm. We have just under $61,000, which we're not sitting too bad right now, but fall is upon us here, and we have finished harvest. Now, the fields are still just a little bit wet, but they've been drying up pretty good. We do have some more rain on the way, so I think we're going to try and get all of this ripped up here so we can be done with that and get to some more important things. I am probably going to have to spread some manure today because that pile is starting to pile up here, and we got a bit in the cattle pen here. Okay, then I think I gotta also grind up some food for him, so there's gonna be a lot of work to do. Anyways, I'm gonna go finish this small field that's right beside the farm here real quick, and then I think Freddy is gonna come out and run the cultivator for the big field, just that way we can finish that up, and that's all done. And I can work on some other things. We also have to clean up the combine, get that serviced, get it all put away for winter. I've heard tell of snow possibly soon, so you never know. I hope there's not, but I guess if there is, we'll have to deal with that. Yeah, this is only gonna be about 2 passes here and we'll finish this one right up. And it looks like we dug ourselves a pretty decent hole from the tractor getting stuck there, so we may have to fill that up as well. I don't have any dirt on the farm though, so I may have to get some hauled in. All right, and that is it for this field. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead here and park the tractor for Freddy, and he can get to work on it whenever he gets here. This field might take a little while, so he might be at it for a tad bit, but frees up our day just a little bit. Really gotta put a quad on the front of that thing. This cardio is getting ridiculous. All right, time to get this combine all washed up and serviced up because it is filthy at the moment here. I scooch in past the Duramax here. I think I just can. Yeah, that's an insurance claim waiting to happen. Smack the header on the truck. That would not be ideal. We'll just get it all washed up here real quick. I'll do a little bit of service and she'll be put away for the winter. I think we're going to stick it in this shed here, yeah. I was going to stick it in the one on the other side of the farm here, but that one's, I think it's going to get filled up here by the time we get everything else in there. So this shed over here still has a ton of room. It's going to work a little bit better. Also, I got to get a longer hose on the pressure washer. Can hardly make it out to the combine. Can't quite squeeze the machine in with the header on it, so it is getting put out here. Much as I hate to have stuff outside, just better than having to spend a bunch of money on a header trailer just to get it inside a shed. And that'll do it. And there goes Freddy. He's on the job. So I'm just on my way back from my neighbor's house. He had to borrow my tractor for a spare grain cart tractor because his one decided it was going to go out. So he asked if I could lend mine out for a day or so. And, well, he got her done, so I get my tractor back. Just rip on into the yard here, grab the grain cart, and that's got to go back to the dealership because it was just a demo for harvest season, and that is it. Eventually, I'm going to have to buy another one, but we'll be good for quite a few months. And I don't think I'd buy one with duals. I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but it's just way too wide. Like, we could take up a whole lane and then some. Kind of ridiculous. Finally decided it was time to bring home some of the old iron we got here out of the cornfield. It's just been sitting out there for the last couple days. So we'll get it back to the farm, and I think I have a buyer for this farmall and the corn harvester, which will be nice. I love the farmall, it's just, I don't know. We don't really need it. That and a lot of guys suggested we get rid of it in the comments. But before we sell all this, it's got to get washed and cleaned up because it's also muddy as heck. Everything out here just gets ridiculously muddy way too fast. I do not understand it. So as I was getting everything cleaned up here, I got a call from the buyer. Well, he's no longer the buyer, I guess. He backed out on the deal here, so... Actually, where should I park this? I'm just going to park it in the shed for now. I have an auction place that's down the road there that I take occasionally stuff to. And they got a sale coming up here in another week or so. And this is going to be going there and getting sold. So who knows how much it's going to bring. It'll probably bring more than what I was going to sell for it here or something like that. I'm thinking if we should send anything else there. I'm not sure what else at the moment. I'll have to take a look around the farm. Hey, Freddy, you're not supposed to go on the neighbor's land, man. You can see him back there. He's turning on the neighbor's land. I don't know why he's not doing a headland. Yeah, man. Well, he's old. Kind of gets to do whatever he wants, I guess. You know, I have really got to stop accepting calls from dealerships because they'll always let me know when they have a sale going on of something. And, well, this time they got me. Yep, I got a snowblower. I figured we were going to need it for the winter. $5,100, which is actually really cheap. A heck of a sale, but, yeah. I can't believe they got me. We need it anyway. We weren't gonna not have a snowblower around the farm. You know, I wonder if we could back a straw bale up to this and just use it as kind of like a straw blower. I wonder if that would work. Huh, probably would. And I know what you're saying. Well, Austin, you have a loader. Why would you need a snowblower? The loader does not have heat. And I'm sure as heck not gonna be running that in the winter without no heat. So yeah, tractor it is. This has great heat. So in the last episode, we had the gravity wagon wheel break off here. Spent the last 45 minutes getting it fixed. It's finally back on here, so we got this back up and going. I didn't want to bring out a jack because the ground's super soft here, so I just used the dang tractor. I didn't think it would be able to lift this thing, but I guess it can. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. No! First the one side breaks, then it's the other. Screw this. I'm pulling this thing out of the way and it's sitting till next year because I am not dealing with this bull crap. You know what? I don't even want to see this thing every day. I'm just taking it over to the other farm and it's getting parked in a back corner. There we go. That's good. Now this house that I bought with the property, it was supposed to be torn down forever ago, and I just haven't gotten around to it, so I don't know if it's going to be done this year. Probably going to do it in the spring, if anything. So this Duramax that I bought a little while ago, it came with a bale bed, and I have not had a chance to use it, so today we're actually going to put it to use for once. The cows need a bale in their pen, so we're going to see if we can do it with this. Except these bales are not exactly stacked to work for this. All right, I got one here. Took a little while, but I got one. We're just gonna set it down. Don't tip on me now. Don't tip on me. I want to try to pick this up the right way. There we go. Oh yeah, it actually works pretty nice. I know you're supposed to set it right down on the bed, but with how I picked this thing up and with how the little feed dispensers on the truck there, ain't gonna work like that. So we'll just put it up here like this. Now, normally you're supposed to lay them down, kind of like this right here, right about like that, and you're supposed to kind of just roll them out. Yeah, it's supposed to roll. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you're supposed to roll them out like that after you cut the net wrap and all that. But since we have such a small pen and that's a lot of waste feed, we're not doing that. I'm gonna see if I can get it into the bale feeder, and I don't think it's tall enough. No, okay, let's try repick this thing up another way. Is it gonna work? Come on. Yeah, that actually worked better than I thought it would. It's not the most ideal setup, but it does work. So since we got the time here, I'm actually gonna go and spread some manure. And actually, since we're just gonna use the John Deere with the tracks on it, we have all the turning radius we need. So we don't gotta park a million miles away from the pile like we used to have to do with the loader. The bucket's not as big, so it doesn't go as quick, but actually, with the time we're gonna save loading it up this way, I imagine might actually be quicker. But first, I gotta grab the stuff from the pen. Out of the way, cows. Come on now. Hey, check this out. No 20-point turns for me. Just zip right around and you got it already back where you wanted to be. Except the manure spreader's full. So we're just gonna park this over here. And this stuff's just gonna be going right on the field right next to the farm here, because we already got all the grass fields we want to get. Except this tractor seems like it's having a bit of a hard time getting through here. Oh man, it's spinning. And it looks like off in the distance there, Freddy is still going hard on that field. So hopefully gets that finished up here very soon. I need that tractor. This is actually about gonna work out perfect. I have made one lap around the field. Nearly perfect. Another turn. Yeah, that did it. That did it. I can't talk apparently. It looks like we are down to our last load of manure here. I'm just cleaning up the last little bits of what's left. And I'm pretty sure Freddy is just about done cultivating the field there. So we could probably get to getting some feed ready for the cattle. They're not going to be here too much longer, but a couple of weeks at least. So they're going to need a decent amount. And that is the last bucket. This tractor's been having a hard time in the mud, so we're just ripping through it as fast as we can. And it seems to get through it okay, if you're going fast enough, of course. It looks like we're not going to get the full field fertilized here, but a good chunk of it. That should help with yields next year. Well, Freddy got the field all finished up here. I'm taking the tractor back. He decided he was going to go home, and I got to wash this thing because it is also filthy. And we got a whole line of equipment here that needs to be cleaned up. That and a few things to be serviced and put away for the end of the year here, since we're pretty much finished up most of the field work. Well, I guess all of it. That was kind of the last thing to do, was get that manure spread and get the last of the cultivating done. I'm just getting the old Mac moved out of the way here. That way we can get the cultivator in there. And I've actually got to do an oil change on this thing here real quick. So once we have the time, we'll get around to that. Well, everything's serviced, put away. Got the quad track here. Gonna go grind some feed, get this thing actually working a little bit, because that cultivator is about nothing for it to pull. So this thing actually takes some horsepower. And as you can see, we are pretty much completely out of feed. So it's definitely time to grind some. So we're in the straw bay first here. So we're gonna grab some straw, probably only 2 bales because we don't need a whole lot lot of that, and I'd like to leave some for bedding. We got deer in here running around going crazy, eating my bales. Drop these in here real quick. This one wants to come off the bucket. Come on now. There we go. Oh, it fell out. There she goes. Grinding up some straw. Well, that's the straw done. I got a pretty big pile going in there because I didn't want to have to grind again before we sent out the cattle. So that'll definitely work, I think. Just drop these ones on in here. That is if they want to... Yep, there we go. I was going to say, if they didn't want to come off the bucket, they got to give them a little bit of a shake. Now, the reason why we use this tractor as opposed to the other John Deere is this one can move with an articulating motion, which allows us to kind of maneuver the belt a little bit more on the back there. We can kind of spread out the pile a bit more evenly. It's definitely not the way you're supposed to run this thing, but I do anyway. Seems simpler. Just getting the silage bales here before we go and put them in the grinder. We got to take the plastic off because that'll clog up that grinder pretty good, and we don't want that. There we go. Let's see. Can I grab 3 of these at once? I don't know. I got it. 3 at once. That is ridiculous. The loader is definitely weighed down a little bit, but we actually got it. Now, obviously, we're not going to put all 3 at once in there. That'd be a bit much for the processor. And there we go. That's the last of our silage all ground up there. I think it should be enough. And for now, I'm just going to park this back here. I'm going to have to bring this back to the main farm, get it all serviced up and put away for the winter. Because we're not keeping cattle over the winter. Because that's just too much of a hassle, and I don't have enough feed to sustain cattle for the winter. So having them for mostly over the early spring, summer, and fall is perfect for me. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe, and goodbye.